Osceola and the Palladium. We did just a ton of weddings.
Club
at the
95, we did
Yeah.
many at Club 95.
Yeah.
Eau Claire.
Midway,
Club 93, and a lot of these places aren't there anymore, don't
Right.
you know? Midway,
Osceola isn't there
Castle
anymore.
Hill. Did you ever play there?
Oh yeah,
Castle
a
Hill,
lot of.
Club 93, that's gone. We played
Yeah.
quite a few there.
Club 186 is where we did Jerry's
That's not there.
wedding. That's not there anymore.
Yeah.
We've outlasted a lot of the buildings.
Right. Favorite place to play?
Oh.
You know, probably for me and Mark and Randy when he was around, the early days at the Buckhorn were
Yeah.
unbelievable.
And where was that?
Oh, by
Augusta?
Augusta, yeah. I mean, it was like every night, every weekend we played, there was like a New Year's Eve gig. I mean, it was packed to the walls and everybody.
And it was like that every night. I mean,
Yeah, it was
there
insane.
wasn't a dull night.
No.
Never a clinker. Yeah.
When we first started, it was just wall to wall, and everybody was just dancing and having fun.
Parking lot full of cars. We had to announce that these cars are in the way, or these cars are up on the road and they got to be moved and all this all the time. It's just
Biggest crowd you've ever played for? Do you know?
probably the Country Fest. That one might have been the first year we were there. We were the last local band before the regular one started.
Okay.
So by the time we were finishing our set, there was, I don't know what, 10, 12,000 people out in front of
Were
us.
you nervous?
No,
It was just
he
like-
was. He was.
I still am.
Were the tempos a little quicker that
Oh,
day?
yeah.
Were they?
But
We
the
played
thing of it is, you can see the first couple hundred, and then it's just colors out in this field, you know, lawn chairs and people, and
Was that the first time anyone else mixed your sound?
Yeah, probably.
probably was, yeah.
Yeah.
When we first started, I mean, nobody had the equipment that they have now. So we had two Shure columns and the vocal master PA for singing, and that's all it was.
No monitors.
No monitors.
earbuds. No.
And
They didn't have tuners on their guitars. I mean,
Yeah.
it was.
Gosh.
And you had I played bass guitar and I had an amp. Randy played lead guitar, he had an amp. You know, Juniberg played, he had an amp. And that was all that was pushing out there. But nobody else had better stuff than that, you know. It was just, that's just the way it was. And all of a sudden things started evolving and everybody's playing, you know, mic and the drums, and they're putting all their guitars and everything through the PA, and they're making a bigger PA, tri-amping with big bass bins and real big loudspeakers and everything. And we were kind of,
The tail end of that.
yeah, we were the last ones to get in on that. And
Once Jerry joined the band, our sound got better because he was used to using bass bins and a bigger sound,
Yeah.
and
yeah,
we started miking the drums and
Okay.
yeah.
And you've always hauled your stuff in and out yourself.
oh yeah, no roadies. We're
Except Tommy.
we call ourselves a band plus furniture movers.
Yeah, yeah. I think 89 was the first country fest we did.
88 or 9. We might have done
And,
two in a row. The very first
Dale
one.
was with us.
Yep.
So you were doing a heavy country rotation at that time.
Yeah,
Lots
Oh.
of country.
lots of country. Pretty much, except for the oldies that we did, you know, like old rock and roll.
We didn't do many of them there.
But we did, no, not for that, but at that time we
Yeah.
were doing, you know, our regular gigs and that were mostly country.
Yeah.
But then we put in, you know, like Johnny B. Good and Memphis and
Yeah.
409, that kind of
Beach
stuff.
Boys and Elvis and
Yeah.
You've opened for or played alongside some notable people. Who were some of those?
Joe Diffie.
you know Joe Diffie. Played.
Yeah, when we did like Country Jam and Country Fest and that. Well, Country Jam, we were always on a side stage, so we would play between the acts. But on the fest grounds, we'd be on the main stage, and then was it Diamond Rio one year?
Bellamy Brothers were up
Yeah.
there.
They were also at. I saw you play with them.
Yeah, at the Silverdome.
At Silverdome
Yeah.
in Neilsville. Yeah,
I saw you also play with Lou Graham, I think.
yeah,
Oh,
that was
yeah,
in Black
yeah,
River.
Black River.
Yep, yep.
Yeah, at the county
And
Formerly
he's
with the
fairgrounds.
What band?
Foreigner.
Foreigner, lead
Yeah.
singer. Foreigner. Yeah.
That was one of the biggest compliments that I ever got. Was we were playing Country Fest, and I think it was when Diamond Rio was coming out after us, and they were backstage and they were bringing some of their stuff. We were doing our set, and then they kind of left, and we did our last song, and then the guy from Wax, I can't remember his name, but he said, "Do you want to hear another one from these guys?" Oh yeah. So we did "I'm in a Hurry" by Alabama.
Uh-huh.
And we started doing that, and I'm singing, and all of a sudden I see a guy come running up on stage and looking around, and we finished the song. It was one of the guys from Diamond Rio, and we got done, and he come over to me and he was laughing, and he says, "You guys started that song." He said, "I thought they were playing the music between, and it was our turn to start setting up." He said, "I thought they were playing it." Yeah, I thought it was a recording.
I thought it was
so that was a
Alabama.
good compliment.
That was a good compliment.
Wow.
And then we had to go sign autographs. That was weird. Everybody buys their souvenir book, and it has all of the bands that are in there and everything like that. And we got done, and the guy said, "Well, you got to go down here, and there's a line waiting for you guys to sign autographs." I said, "Really?
Yeah.
For us? Okay."
Okay. Where's my Sharpie?
Yeah.
Yeah, think of all the photos of you that there probably are out there.
If it was today's world, if the people that had cell phones back in the 70s, there'd been millions of pictures.
Yeah.
We did Country Fest, I think, 3 times, and Country Jam twice. And then we did that
Heyday,
Festival.
Rhinelander. Some of them have kind of died off now, but we did all the local festivals.
Yep.
All the different venues so Osseo has a Palladium, you would play outside. I remember there was a mud thing in Augusta once.
Yeah, Bean and Bacon days, they had a tent, and it rained real hard, and it came in the tent, and it was 2 feet of water inside the tent, and they were splashing all over. And
we used to do Fall Creek's Tug of War. We did Strum Steam Engine Days, which doesn't even
the Broiler Festival,
Broiler Fest in Oliva, Pleasantville,
Center,
Center,
Strawberry Festival.
Blair.
Yep, Cheese Festival we did a lot of times. They used to have another thing, what did they call it? River Bottom Days.
Yeah,
we did that for a few years. And
we
Ettrick Days.
Independence, maybe.
The Watermelon Festival in Kellogg, Minnesota.
Wow. The furthest away you've ever played, do you know?
Probably Des Moines, Iowa.
Des Moines, Iowa, yeah.
For what?
For a wedding.
For a wedding.
And they offered us rooms, but Randy wanted to come home, so we packed up and drove all the way home. It was, 11 o'clock the next day?
10:30, 11 o'clock Sunday morning. We've done some in Minnesota.
And we never went on the road just because we all had other jobs,
Okay. And what were those other jobs?
Well, yeah. Mark was sold parts. I hauled milk, and
Randy was.
Anyway,
He worked for the
carpenter, and then he wound up being a janitor at the courthouse in
Trempealeau County.
So this has always been a side hustle. Side gig.
Pretty much, yeah.
We never did. Yeah. Well, there's a guy told us one time, "I could put you on the road," but he said, "I don't care if you're brothers or not. You'll hate each other after about 6 months." So.
Well, Jerry and Barry were on the road. They started because of us. Barry would go to the city hall and see us. He's 9 years younger than me. He'd go to the city hall and see us, and then somehow he got connected with Jerry, and he said, "You got to see these guys." And so they came.
2 guys that grew up listening to you are now
in the
other half of the band.
Yeah, right. Yeah. And I've got a bill here somewhere from when they started. It was, I think, like Elk Creek Days or something like that. And Smoky Ridge played Friday night, Sage played Saturday night.
Ah.
So we're both on the bill, but
wow.
it's 2 different bands there.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's crazy.
Jerry said it used to drive him crazy because when they were learning songs, if they were playing something and Barry would stop, and he said, "No," he says, "that's not the way Sage does it, so we gotta." And Jerry said,
And then we wound up playing for Jerry's wedding.
Yeah.
When Dale was with us.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
That was in '86, I think.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.